In the heavens beyond the clouds, a kingdom called heaven exists in eternal light, where countless angels live together in absolute order and peace. Here, each angel has a distinct mission, contributing to the overall harmony. Among them, Michael stands out not only for his extraordinary power, but also for his wisdom and integrity. With a devoted heart, he is loved by all, from the highest angels to the humblest souls. Michael's life is filled with joy, carrying a clear purpose in serving God. That sacred land is not only a place of residence, but also a sacred roof where light, truth, and love reign in every moment. Heaven is a radiant symbol of divine perfection, its golden streets glittering in eternal light, and its clear rivers flowing through lush gardens that never wither. The everlasting flowers bloom year-round, while the fruit trees glisten like precious stones. In this magnificent setting, Michael guards the gates of heaven and keeps order in eternity. His role extends beyond his power to his devotion, loyalty, and care for each soul there. His days are a blend of justice and peace, of strength and kindness, as he walks the celestial realm, protecting the sanctity of heaven from every potential threat. Michael is not only a warrior, but also a wise and compassionate leader. As the archangel, he is trusted by the entire heavenly host. At every meeting in the magnificent halls of heaven, where light reflects off the walls and soaring ceilings, Michael and the archangels discuss sacred matters, from heavenly peace to the fate of humanity. He listens, understands, and directs every thought to God with deep reverence. These councils were not only places for decision-making, but also occasions for the angels to come together to glorify the wisdom of their Creator. In all things, Michael demonstrated a shining example of justice and fidelity to the divine will. Despite his lofty responsibilities, Michael always found quiet moments in the sacred gardens to contemplate the universe and the wonders of creation. Sometimes he walked alone through the everlasting flower paths, meditating in silence. Other times he conversed with his angelic companions, recounting the wonders of creation and sharing the joy of serving God. These conversations were filled with joy, but also with the depth of spiritual understanding. Heaven is not only beautiful in form, but also a place where the soul is nourished by a peace that surpasses all human understanding. It is in this silence that Michael nurtured his faith and devotion to grow stronger. Heaven is a place where no darkness can exist, and every soul lives in perfect love and perfect harmony with God. It is a place where every heart is ablaze with divine light, and every word carries truth and life. This was Michael's beloved home, where he not only lived, but also served with all his heart. However, that peace did not last forever. Among the angels, there was one named Lucifer who possessed a beauty as radiant as the morning star. However, that dazzling appearance hid a darkness that was secretly growing. As pride began to invade Lucifer's heart, rebellious thoughts began to form, sowing the first cracks in the perfect picture of heaven. Lucifer, once considered one of the most brilliant angels in heaven, began to let pride cloud his mind. The admiration of the other angels fueled his delusions that he was worthy of being equal to, or even superior to, God. This pride not only turned his heart cold, but also spread like poison, tainting the purity of heaven. Instead of repenting, Lucifer nurtured his rebellion. He secretly persuaded the other angels, planting false promises of power and freedom in their hearts. Eventually, a third of the angels were swept away by his delusions, abandoning their allegiance to their Creator. This was the beginning of the greatest rebellion in the history of heaven. Heaven was shocked by this unexpected rebellion. A place that had known no conflict was now threatened by division. But in the face of danger, Michael stood up without hesitation. With his loyalty and indomitable spirit, he clearly felt his duty to protect the light from the invasion of darkness. God himself had entrusted him with this noble mission to lead the loyal army to repel Lucifer and his rebels. This war would not be just a war of weapons, but a war of faith, loyalty, and love for God. Michael knew that this would be a fateful moment, not only for the heavens, but for the entire cosmic order. That fateful day finally came. The entire heavens shook with the clash of swords and the dazzling light of divine magic. Michael, wielding a sword of pure light, led the angelic army into battle. The glowing angels darted like lightning, dodging the attacks of the black fire that Lucifer unleashed. Throughout space, light and darkness entangled in an unprecedented chaotic dance. The battle cry echoed through the heavens as the steadfast angels fought fiercely against their fallen comrades. Despite the dark magic, Michael's army fought with the power of faith, unshaken by the destruction that surrounded them. Lucifer was not easily defeated. With his terrifying power and his sword of dark fire, he fought back fiercely. Each of his slashes split the sky, creating shockwaves that shook the heavens. But Michael remained steadfast, like an immovable mountain in the midst of a storm. In each of his sword strikes, he used not only his physical strength, but also his absolute faith in God. The light radiating from his sword seemed to tear the darkness apart, countering with an inextinguishable divine light. As the battle reached its climax, Michael called out to summon the power of goodness. His sword shone brighter than ever, and then, at the fateful moment, he delivered the decisive blow, a glorious and powerful final blow. The final strike from Michael's sword of light struck down like a holy lightning bolt, piercing Lucifer's defenses. That power carried not only the strength of a warrior, but also the resonance of the entire heavens and the will of God. Lucifer, no matter how strong, could not withstand that pure power. In his frenzy, he and his rebels were hurled from heaven, falling like falling stars, stripped of their glory and eternal light. Heaven, though victorious, still bore within it a deep sorrow for the loss of its former brothers. Yet, light was restored. Michael, the divine hero, stood among the angels, bearing the scars of victory and a heart filled with mercy.